Charles Manson, an infamous cult leader and serial killer, is one of the many notorious people who have been diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder. In the late 1960s, Manson founded a hippie cult group known as the Family, whom he manipulated into brutally killing others on his behalf. Charles and his cult are believed to have killed around 35 people, but many of the trials have not been continued due to the lacking of evidence. Charles had a difficult childhood as he was raised by a young, single, alcoholic mother who wanted nothing to do with him. Charles was left to earn money on the streets by committing petty crimes, resulting in him being in and out of jail throughout the 1950s. He was described by probation reports as suffering from a marked degree of rejection, instability, and psychic trauma, and constantly striving for status and securing some kind of love. Manson was released from jail in 1967 for yet another petty crime, and it was later on that year where he began a murderous campaign that would result in dozens of deaths.
Who do you think I am, girl? If you could pick all the words of the vocabulary that your mother told you, who do you think I am? And this is only a couple hours. Can you imagine what it would be like a couple days with me?
Also during this time, Manson began to idolize the Beatles, including the song Helter Skelter, and he believed that the Beatles were the prophets who were sending him messages with their songs. During this time, he was also heavily influenced by drugs such as LSD. After 1967, Manson gathered a group of followers who shared his passion for an unconventional lifestyle and habitual use of drugs such as LSD and magic mushrooms. The Family, as they became known, moved to San Francisco and later to a deserted ranch in the San Fernando Valley.
Drugs, LSD, I don't consider a drug. I don't consider poverty a drug. Those are more or less religiously significant awareness, mind-expanding apparatuses that come from the intelligence of the universe. The reason that the girls liked me was, hey now, I'm all around you, hey now, up on your heart I can sing through you. And I play and I sing and they say, hey man, you got soul in that music. And I said, yeah, I play a little bit, you know.
His followers, numbering around 100, also included a small unit of hardcore fans. They began to believe, without a question, Manson's claims that he was Jesus and his prophecies of a race war. The Family carried out several murders on Manson's orders throughout his time as a serial killer. The most famous victim was actress Sharon Tate, who was killed in her Los Angeles home along with 3 guests. In 1971, Manson was sentenced to death, but following the abolition of capital punishment in California in 1972, his sentence was reduced to life in prison. Since then, he has been denied parole 12 times.
Well, God, I guess you're my best friend, being I invented you.
You believe in God, Charles?
Sure, I believe in myself. Why wouldn't I? Which one?
Are you Jesus Christ?
Which Jesus? There's all kinds of Jesuses. There's a black Jesus down in Florida. He's having a good time. There's a Mexican Jesus in Mexico. I mean, there's all kinds of there's a Jewish Jesus. I mean, Jesus, you know. There's all kinds of Jesus coming back everywhere.
Charles exhibits many different symptoms of antisocial personality disorder, including the lack of remorse or guilt for his victims, readiness to blame others, or to offer plausible rationalizations for the behavior that has brought the person into conflict with society, and the incapacity to maintain enduring relationships.
It's clear that you were guilty of murder, and yet he says in all his conversations with you, he never heard you express remorse. Have you never felt it?
Remorse for what? You people have done everything in the world to me. Doesn't that give me equal right? I can do anything I want to you people at any time I want to, because that's what you've done to me. If you spit in my face and smack me in the mouth and throw me in solitary confinement for nothing, what do you think's going to happen when I get out of here?